So let me go ahead and get started. I'll show you step by step exactly how I'm very OCD with all this, especially with my trading. So I do everything like the exact same way every single time. So my trading window, I'm going to open up in my far left. Just what I do. I open up in the far left and then I open up my currency strength meter. As I'm going, you guys may not, like I said, you guys are new, you guys use different strategies. Let me know if you're not understanding or don't know any of these things I'm talking about, i.e. currency strength meter, the strategy I'm going to use on IM, anything like that. Just let me know. Currency strength meter obviously just shows the strength of the currencies, right? This is going to show you when they're paired. So like the Euro USD, right? If we were taking Euro USD right now, Euro is the front currency in that pair, okay? Because there's two currencies, right? Like Euro / USD. If the front currency is weaker, we will overall look for sells and or puts, right? We'd look for that there to go down. Just in general, that's not always what's going to happen. Obviously, we have more indicators, but that's just kind of I have like a little point system that I watch Matthew Thayer, which I hope you guys are familiar with him because he trades the multi-million-dollar account, super profitable. He's one of our educators. Trades Sundays, correct me if I'm wrong, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 11 p.m. Eastern time. So I learned a lot from him as well. And then also Tyreek T-Beck, he had a strategy, and I kind of molded that into my own too. And I'm kind of just coupling these different strategies together to pinpoint an entry, really, just to get like a really good entry point, right? I also watch Millie Mills. Part of her strategy, the simple scalper, is also part of my strategy, right? So open up my trading window, currency strength meter, and then I go into my trading view. I open up, usually I'll open up probably two. I don't want to focus on many more than two pairs at a time. And I will be checking, when I log in, I'll be checking what pair is paying out the highest percentage. And then I will check that chart and see if it's moving well within consolidation or if it's making a new trend. And then that'll kind of dictate what pairs I trade for that like good hour session that I do. So as I'm going, like I said, ask questions. This becomes super simple to me, right? Because I do this all the time when I trade. It's just step by step by step by step. So if you have questions, ask. And this isn't going to be too long either. Maybe another 20 minutes. So more of a Q&A. This is my strategy. I'll show you guys what I do. Hopefully, especially if you're new, this is a step up from maybe whatever you're doing. But you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You can couple it with your strategy too. That's what I like to do, is take other people's stuff and kind of mix it, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I do my trading platform, currency strength, because this is what I want to check first. I always want to make sure I know what's going on with the currency strength. Different currencies, and then I'm going to open up IM, and I'm going to use Matthew Thayer's strategy, which is it's like $20. It's like an extra add-on for the month through IM. So I pay for that every month. It pays for itself, like after one or two trades. So depending on how much you leverage strategies. Your strategies come down to HFX within the hourglass. So Liberty is where Millie Mills trades from. That's where the simple scalper is. But I have the simple scalper within my trading view. Okay, so I don't need to have that open. So I go to hourglass. There's two different strategies, Blue Gator and Cash Trap. I use Cash Trap. And that is because, okay, so it's the weekend, right? So stuff's not going to be moving. So you're going to have to pretend like it is, or we'll go back through previous times in the market so I can do my explanation, right? This is a great example. Let me check questions real fast. Same Cash Trap. Yep, Cash Trap. How did you get the simple scalper within your trading view? So Wanda, there's been a couple calls that T-Beck does. And also so you take, let me try to word this properly. Okay, so the simple scalper strategy, right, has all those indicators that kind of looks something like this, or like the RSI or the stochastic or whatever else. And they're listed on the left. And you can, we put this out in the chat. It's somewhere in my notes. If you can't grab it from the chat, I think it's saved, like in our saved content. all I did was I took all those indicators, which I believe I was on a call with T-Vec, and he gave them all to me. Like he listed them out, and I just added them to my trading view, right? So it's literally the exact same as a simple scalper, but it's in my trading view, which when I open this up, you'll see it and I'll show you. If that makes sense, let me know, Wanda, just respond for me so I know. But yeah, simple scalper within my own trading view. I pay for the extra trading view, right? It's like $30 a month or something like that, which gives you like unlimited indicators. So when I open up my trading view, you're probably gonna be like holy crap, like it looks pretty crazy, but it literally traps price, like tells you right where it's going, which is super awesome. But yep, so you open up Hourglass, right? Yeah, we got another person joining. Yeah, if you're just joining, I don't know if you're here before, but we're going over my strategy for binary. If you have any questions, just let me know in the chat real quick, and then need to verbalize anything, just hop up on the mic and I'll answer your questions for you. But yeah, so the way the Hourglass works, sorry about that. So the way Hourglass works is, the cash trap works, is when the market, let me see if I can make some lines and stuff here. This maybe up so you guys can see it. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do red because it's going to be, actually I'll do white for now. White's not going to work. Do black for entry point, okay? So, right there. I'll explain this in a second. All right, so what we're looking for is we're looking for oversold markets or overbought markets, okay? So all of these indicators, these are the Bollinger Bands, right? So there's blue and the red. Blue means it's about to go up. Red means it's about to go down. Super simple, right? So if it's riding the top, it's probably about to go down. So if we come back over here, watch my cursor. So if we go over here and price is riding the Bollinger Band on the top, right? It's probably going to drop. And what did it do? Rode the Bollinger Band for a minute and then it dropped, right? So if we were to enter right here, we would have won or lost the trade. What do you see, right? We would have won. Literally, that's how simple it is. Does it happen every single time? No. Sometimes it pushes up through the Bollinger Band if it needs to create a new, like if it's creating a new trend. But that's something that you need to know before you start your trading session. When you start your trading session, you need to look that stuff up, which I'll show you. You go to the 1 hour, the 4 hour, all that stuff on your currency, and make sure it's headed in a certain direction. So right here, where it's coming back up closer to Bollinger Band, right? And also what Cash Trap does is it puts out an arrow for you. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I'm struggling to, there we go. Anyway, you guys see this red arrow, correct? Someone let me know if you do not see it. I'm guessing y'all can see it, but pop up in the chat if you cannot. But there's a red arrow right here, right? So what you need to do is you need to take the top of this red arrow, and this is your entry point, okay? So literally Cash Trap will just, the market flows, when it sees something, it'll show you the pair. So on Euro USD 5 minute, right? So each of these candles is 5 minute. It's gonna pop up an arrow. It'll be a red arrow down, or it'll be a blue arrow up if it wants you to buy. It literally tells you where the market's going, okay? I believe it's got about a 70-ish% success rate just alone. Just the arrow itself is like a 70%. So if you were to trade 10 trades on just the arrow alone, and get your proper entry, this is what people usually mess up on. You need to get that entry at the top of the arrow. You'd win 70% of your trades, right? Which is already profitable. This other stuff that I'm going to show you is just points that you can add on to your trade. Okay, it's like a little point system. An arrow is 3 points, which is an okay trade. If you want to take a trade and maybe leverage a little higher, be more confident, you're going to want 4 or 5 points, right? Does the arrow pop up on every candle? So not necessarily, right? If Cash Trap does not see that the market is going to move, and if it's not confident that the market's going to move in a specific direction, because it's like an algorithm, right? This is all computer. So if it doesn't see that it's going to move, it may not pop up the arrow. You'll see it, like I said, usually around Bollinger Bands and or through these middle bands, which price likes to kind of bounce off to. Now let me explain the black lines a little bit. This black line is my entry point, so where I want to get in, right? This is actually an amazing trade. It took off like crazy, which makes sense, really, because of how consolidated it was. But so first thing we want to look for, we want to look for an overbought market, okay? We're looking for a sell or a put, so we're looking for an overbought market. Does that make sense? Let me know if that does not make sense to anybody. The reason we're looking for an overbought market is because price at some point, if it continues to be bought and bought and bought and the price is rising, it's not sustainable within the market, okay? So we're looking for the drop. So that's why we're trying to critique our entry point. And then once we enter, trying to allow that to drop, right? So at this point, it's coming up. We see that it's overbought. That's what the stochastic and RSI are. It's showing that it's overbought, which means it's above or at this red dotted line. So both of them are overbought. It's one of our first indicators. Okay. And then as it starts to come back down and it crosses, that's our next indicator, right? So that is, I believe Matthew Thayer, his thing is, I don't go by exact points because I just watch it and do it. It's like 2 points itself. Both of them drop. Actually, no, one dropping is a half. So both of them dropping, right? Both of them crossing and crossing back is a point. It's 1 point. And then right in the Bollinger Band, that's another point. The arrow is 3 points. That's 5 points total. And what happened, right? If we took this trade, what happened? We entered here. Even on a 1 minute, we probably won because I don't see the wick any higher. So anywhere from a 1 to 5 minute trade, you won. Like crazy won. Like this was easy. This is literally just tanked, which is perfect. It's exactly what you want. This is what you want your entries to look like. So this was this last call out before the market closed on Friday, which is really good, right? This is why I trust the strategy. But tell me if that makes sense to anybody, right? This is just cash trap alone. This is just part of my strategy. Let me know if that makes sense. I'll go on to my next one. And then I'll try to kind of wrap up my entire strategy and then do a little Q&A and send you guys on your way. I get no questions. I'm just going to move on in the next few seconds. Okay. So that's cash trap. Oh, hold on. So the arrow is 3 and the line crossing down is half a point each, so 4 points. Correct. So if you get a cross up, cross down, a cross up, cross down, and an arrow, it's 4 point trade. It's a good trade, right? 4 points is a good trade. That means it's probably going to follow what the arrow says. Now, for some reason, let's say it's oversold and it crosses the bottom and crosses back up. That means this is like momentum, right? The stochastic and RSI are momentum. So if this were to cross back up, and this is moving upward, this black line, right? Back up across this blue. If you're getting a red arrow, a down arrow, they contradict themselves. So don't look for that trade. But if they match each other, you're adding points to your trade. It's going to be a more profitable trade, right? Not more profitable, sorry, we trade binary, but it's going to be a more accurate trade, right? That makes sense. Let me know. And then you use Liberty. So like I said, I think you're in. Yes, I use Liberty, but it's part of my overall strategy, which is in my trading view, which is what I'm going to show you next. So Liberty is what Millie Mills uses. Cash Trap is what Matthew Thayer uses. They're both great traders. Neither of them are perfect, but I figured if I mix two great traders, right, and both of their strategies, that I could be as close to perfect as possible, which when I'm playing with my money, I want to be as pretty close to possible, as close to perfect as possible, right? None of us want to be playing with our money, putting in trades that we're not confident on. So trying to put a system in place for myself and hopefully for you guys too, that makes all of my trades super confident and rise my my winning rate, my success rate on my trades. Just I don't know if you guys follow me on social media or anything. I can drop in the chat, but like just yesterday I got pretty hyped. So I'm here. For any of you guys who don't know, I'm in the National Guard, the Army National Guard, and long story short, I am in AIT right now, Advanced Individual Training to become a combat medic. I'm in Fort Sam Houston, Texas, down in San Antonio, and my training is pretty jam-packed. Like I don't have too much free time, but on the weekends I do, so I'm gonna try to do this like every weekend for you guys. But just yesterday, I had like let's say an hour of free time before I think dinner there was, and maybe lunch, and I was able to get on my trading Bide, and I traded by myself, no educators, no nothing. I used this strategy right here, and I was able to literally make enough money to pay. I made enough money and paid myself yesterday. And I went and bought a new pair of boots today, so I was in need of a new pair of boots. So literally made as much as a new pair of boots. My trading just paid for that, right? And I was able to put some of my savings and whatever else. Um, so it's super cool. It's literally a blessing once you figure something out like this. Word. Okay, I'll move on. If you guys have any more questions about myself, you can hit me up, whatever. I'll drop, show some love on the IG too, actually, if you want. Okay, so next part to this. So also, I was a very undisciplined trader, right? I started to see a lot of profits, got super greedy. I blew an account, rolling over on a trade that I was super determined that I was going to win. I just had to. So now I only trade with a $250 account. So every time I make, let's say 150 bucks or 200 bucks, whatever I make in a day, I will withdraw that back down to 250 if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys are undisciplined. I'll tell you that is a really good strategy because I finally have 250 to play with. I'm not over leveraging. I'm not being stupid, right? Let's see. I don't know why this is showing up this way. Move you guys around. There we go. Okay. So I open up my trading, check currency strength, and actually hold up. So we check the percentages, right? So USD JPY is only 60%. I'm not going to mess with it. GBP USD, okay, 90%. I want that, right? 80 or higher is what I want. 85 or higher. So it is moving right now, but it's the weekend. So I mean, I could trade, which I'll throw one in, I guess, but I can't. Trading view is not going to be moving. So I'm showing you my strategy, but you're not actually going to see it moving, right? So GBP USD. GBP USD has a high percentage. This percentage here, if you guys don't know, is the payout. So if I trade 100 bucks, right? I'm gonna take this off so I don't mess myself up. But I would then profit $90 from that trade. If I were to trade $10, I'd profit $9 from that trade. $1, which is all I'm going to do right here just for learning purposes because I'm not actually using my strategy. So I can't be 100% confident on all these because it's the weekend. But so GBP USD is paying on 90%, which is what I want. So I go here, full feature chart. You guys will see what I'm talking about right here. Why I have to like pay for this and whatnot because of all these indicators, right? So, and as you'll see, 107.014. Oh, that changes GBP USD over here. I use a dual time frame strategy, so I have to make sure they match up. So this is USD JPY right now, but I'm changing it to USD. It's literally like two different. I gotta make sure these match up. 25634 word. Okay, so these are the same ones. Sometimes, so if you guys look, GBP right? So you see how there's like so many, like all these different ones, like they're all GBP but sometimes like the prices are different. So you want to make sure that they're the same when you open up two different windows. Okay, so one of them I have on the 3-minute or the 5-minute. It just kind of depends. If it's within, it's in consolidation, I'll use the 3-minute. If it's moving pretty good, I'll use the 5-minute. I think T-Beck uses the 3-minute and 1-minute. And over here is the 1-minute because I want a precise entry, right? That makes sense. And I'm actually going to talk about what would probably happen right here. This is a good scenario to talk about right now. I saw something in the chat. I'm going to answer that real quick. Is that pro version? Yeah, I think it's, it might be the pro version. I don't know exactly what the ones were. I just remember what one T-Beck told me I needed for all these indicators, and that's the one I bought. Like I said, I know you have to like Cash App, right? Or Cash Trap. You got to buy Cash Trap. It's an extra few bucks a month. Trading View. Got to buy the extra Trading View to have all these indicators. It is worth it. Promise you it is worth it. I know, I mean, you have to pay your IM membership. And maybe you're not getting people signed up. Maybe you're not getting residuals yet or whatever the case may be, right? It is worth it. When you become a profitable trader on your own, there is no better feeling. I promise you, promise you, promise you. Word. Okay, so right here, from what I was saying earlier, right? This is the stochastic and the RSI, right? And then I got 200 EMA in there. I got the SAR. I think those are the parabolic dots. That's what the SAR is. And then Bollinger Band, right? Bollinger Band's right here. Those are the upper and lower limits, outer limits. The volume bar, these, and then this is part of what is this? Oh, that's the EMA. Yep. And then the Bollinger Bands have like their own little EMA riding in there too, which price likes to bounce off of it, as you can see. Sometimes it's not as strong though. But sometimes like you can add like I'll add like a half a point or whatever in my trades. If cash trap calls out an arrow and it's like if it were to come up here, cash trap called out a down arrow, I'd be like, you know what? Okay. All right. So this is what it looks like, right? If I so GBP USD. Paying out 90% is what I want to trade right now. So I go here, I'm looking at the chart. Right now, I would want to buy this, okay? Don't look at this because this is not accurate close around. Because as you can see, it's 26339, and it's not at 26339. That's way the hell up there. This price is just moving after. Like you'll see, like that's why open and close prices are different sometimes. Like when you see on Sunday when the market opens, it's all different. But yeah, so where was I? All right, so right now I'm trading. This is all live, and then I would just go back into my broker and I would call and or put the trade, right? So here we are. The parabolic dots. Price likes to bounce off of these. Parabolic dots form on the opposite side of price, opposite side of the way price is going, okay? So if you can see, price is getting overbought, right? Parabolic dots form above the price as the price falls, okay? So that is one of our indicators that price is falling or about to fall. Parabolic dots being above the price, okay? So we're also looking at the stochastic and the RSI. Look at the 5 minute first because it's a little cleaner. Stochastic dropping down, it's becoming oversold. RSI is dropping down, becoming oversold. So this is probably a good point to buy, right? Right here. Do white. So that's good. Now also, price is riding this lower Bollinger Band, right? So price is riding this lower Bollinger Band. That means price is probably going to change direction and now go up, right? Like I said, what did I say? Bollinger Bands, I mean, they kind of like, it's like a trampoline for the price, right? So if it's riding that Bollinger Band, soon probably going to turn around. Right now, I'd probably be a little cautious because there is the EMA is getting kind of close. And price likes to match the EMA and then bounce off sometimes. But you would go, that's a pretty drastic drop, honestly, because it's already oversold, and it's got some distance between itself and the EMA. But I would caution myself. I'd look for some more indicators before I place this. So there's that, right? I'm checking out the 5 minute. I'm seeing overall, this is probably going back up, right? That does not make sense. Let me know. Waiting for the RSI stochastic drop, and now it's at that point. So we're waiting for it to turn around and go, right? Price is at that lower Bollinger Band. We're waiting for it to turn around and go up. So now I'm thinking it's going to go up, right? So now I'm going to come over to my 1 minute. I'm going to kind of critique my entry. So we think price is going to go up. As you can see, the arrow that I placed over here is over here as well. It just kind of it matches itself when you have the time frame up. So right here as well, it's coming down, touch in. It already came down across and went back up, and it never actually became overbought, just like what happened right here because it bounced off this middle EMA for the Bollinger Band or whatever. So it came back down, and now look, parabolic dots are forming, right? So it's still, I still see price dropping, being oversold, almost oversold, going back up. Now, price also is now touching what? Parabolic dots, right? So the price touches the parabolic dots. Literally look at this right here. So you can see this is within the open and close, but check this out. Actually, I'm gonna circle right here. That one, right? It literally came down, touched the parabolic dot, formed the parabolic dot right then, and it just went right back up. Right? These parabolic dots bounce the price around. Perfect for binary. So we're looking to buy, right? 5 minute, we're looking to buy. In the next 5 minutes, price is going up. Now we're coming over to 1 minute. We want to critique our entry. We're allowing price to continue to fall a little bit. Oh, we got the parabolic dots. It's about to cross, it's about to go back up, it's about to cross, about to go back up. Parabolic dots are good. And it's also, look at the Bollinger Bands. It's riding out of the Bollinger Bands. When it rides out of the Bollinger Band, can you see what happens, right? It wicks. It's out of the Bollinger Band. Price is not sustainable, so it goes back up. So all of these entry points, let's say we're doing like a 1 minute trade. It comes down, bam, enter. Price goes back up. You win your trade. Actually, price doesn't come back down here until how much longer? Like 3 minutes, right? And then it also, the closing is still up. 4 minutes, the closing is still above. So if you did anything less than 4 minutes here, probably won your trade. But most likely like 95% won your trade, unless for some reason you got wicked out right here. Got super unlucky. You're chilling all the time. You bought right here, which you should have, because as you know, when price exits the Bollinger Bands, price wants to come back in the Bollinger Bands. 95% of price stays within the Bollinger Bands. Okay, so when it's coming outside of the Bollinger Bands on the lower side, price is probably going to come back up and sustain itself. So you want to buy it. Okay. And then, so yeah, literally it's bouncing off the parabolic dots. It's coming out of the Bollinger Band. It's crossing. It's ready to go back up. Let's say, come over here, hourglass cash trap. So let's say we're not looking at Euro USD. Let's say it says GBP USD, right? And it calls an up arrow. And it also has a cross down, ready for cross up. It's just adding points to my trade, right? So let's say cash trap gives me a blue arrow for GBP USD. GBP USD looks like my analysis says that GBP USD is going to go up, right? Makes sense. Hourglass says it's going to go up. Currency strength meter. GBP USD. Let's see what's going on here. GBP USD. Okay, so this is our only contraindication, but it's also not a super strong contraindication, right? Like I said before, this is not the end all be all. Because GBP is a little weaker than the USD does not mean it's going to tank. Okay, within 2 or 3, it's pretty even, and it doesn't say too much. So this is already 4.5, at least 4.5, 5-point trade. And we're just not going to add any points for the currency strength meter. If GBP was stronger than the USD, I would add a 0.5 point, right? So then it would be an even better trade. But because it's not too much of a difference here, let's say USD looked like JPY and GBP was still this weak, right? Then I would be kind of like a little hesitant, like, you know what, the back pair USD is like super strong. And maybe that means it's going to drip a little farther. Maybe that means it is going to come down and touch this EMA like I thought it was, possibly, right? But it's not. So we're good. We're good. This buy is still good and strong. And I would enter right now. Like I would enter right now, right here, at this very point. I might be a little patient and wait till it comes back down. See where price is right now at 25634. I may be super patient and try to get price down at like 25628. So I'd look for like 2.5 area, right? The last two, I'd be like, okay. I'd come over here and be like, okay, when price hits 2.5, it comes back down, hits 2.5, I'm gonna buy it, right? That's just kind of what I would do. So that's literally it, guys. Within this strategy, I usually trade 3 minutes. Sometimes I do 2 or 1, depending on how volatile price is. Like right now, I'd probably do 1. I'd probably do like 2. And that gives me the chance to roll over. And if I roll over once, I still stay within that 5-minute time frame. Okay, so 3, I wouldn't be able to stay within that 5-minute time frame unless I do it super early, like within the first minute. So usually I do 2s, so I can roll over once if I have to and stay within this 5-minute time frame, but still get my good entry. So I hope all that makes sense. Any last minute questions? Actually, the one thing I haven't upgraded yet is my Zoom. So we got to run a time frame here, like 1 minute, 45 seconds left. So any questions, you can actually hop up on the mic too if you want and just ask, and I can answer. Can you repeat what you said about the price on trading? You not matching the price on your broker account, please. How do you know when to enter? Prices are different. Okay, so it's the weekend right now, right? Let me know if you understand this. So it's the weekend. Price is not actually really moving, right? I mean, you can still trade, but it's not advisable because this is not moving. You see how TradingView is literally not moving at all? So this is the close price on Friday when the market's closed. This is just a bunch of BS bobbing around because the broker account still moves because money is still being traded in the background, okay? So this is not live. On Sunday night when the market's open, this will update and it will match the price on this, okay? But if the prices for some reason don't match, don't trade that pair. Let me know if that makes sense. The broker does not have a rollover. What time to invest? 3 minutes. Anything else? 3 minutes. Any last questions? If you have any more questions, hit me up in the chat. You guys can also grab my number, anything like that too. Hit me up on Instagram and I will answer it for you. I know that was kind of quick. I recorded it. Let me know if you want the recording so you can go back over it. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time. Good half hour, 40 minutes, whatever it was. I hope you learned something, and I will talk to you guys again. Let me know, hit the chats and let me know, or DM me or whatever. Let me know if you want me to do this again too. Instead, I dropped it above. I'm gonna drop it again. Let's see if this kicks me out here. Yep, less than a minute. Isabella, absolutely. Wanda, absolutely. Jacqueline, absolutely, no problem. Love to help out when I can, like I said.